Janitorial Manager presents the Business of Cleaning podcast, the podcast that brings you the information you need to be successful in the cleaning industry. The Business of Cleaning podcast provides in-depth interviews with successful personalities from the commercial cleaning industry, as well as discussing the trending topics that matter to you and your organization.
And welcome to the Business of Cleaning podcast, your number one source for information on the commercial cleaning industry. We release new episodes monthly, live from the Janitorial Manager studio located in Toledo, Ohio. I'm Tim Clagg, the Marketing Communication Specialist here at AA Solutions and your host of the Business of Cleaning podcast. Today, we have two very special guests. We welcome in the owners of Preferred Capital Cleaning, Chicas, McNamara, Illissa, Figueroa. And you guys are based out of our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And ladies, we're so glad to have you part of this month's show.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
It's a very interesting story, and we're going to dive right into it here. Preferred Capital Cleaning, registered back in 2016. However, the path to get here in 2020, there was a lot of time, a lot of effort that went into this. You ladies were working for another company and working both jobs until early 2020 when, of course, everything changed in the world. How were you guys able to juggle and manage both jobs, and not have a conflict of interest in your schedules at all?
So we both work for a construction cleaning company, two different companies. And the way we managed that conflict of interest was pursuing janitorial contracts because both companies weren't interested in doing that.
Yeah. So when we presented the idea of, hey, we should look into janitorial, we do construction, the owners of the company were not interested in the janitorial side of things. They were like, we know construction, let's just stick to what we know. So that's how we saw an opportunity to, hey, we know cleaning, we love cleaning. They don't want to do janitorial. We can have PCC doing janitorial.
And how were you guys able to take the tools during your day job at this point and apply some key crucial factors into what you guys were doing for Preferred Capital during this time?
A lot of it was a lot of legwork, knocking on doors. So weekends we started off with meeting for, monthly, once a month to talk about our business plan. And then also, how do we start generating some income, right? So we just made some business cards. We would put them on doors to clean houses, and someone's doing a renovation in their house. Let's see if we can clean that house. And then we would also just knock on businesses and just drop off our business card on the weekends, letting them know that we do janitorial cleaning.
You mentioned meeting one time a month. What are some of the most memorable things about those meetings over the course of kind of building your blueprint for your guys' business? What are some key takeaways that you guys remember now in 2024 about those meetings?
So I remember meeting, and we still have those notebooks to this day, and, coming up with, well, how are we going to grow, and outlining our projections and what we needed. Okay, we need this many people to hit this target number, and what is it going to take to get to that amount of people, and what are we going to need to provide to those people, supplies, a vehicle, basically setting a budget. How much is the vehicle going to cost? How much are, their labor, how much is their labor going to cost us? And we look at those projections and compare them to now, and we've surpassed them by leaps and bounds.
Yes.
So insane. I mean, there was a long time where, and we still to this day, we would look at each other and we're like, look where we are today compared to, we look at that notebook and say, look what we wrote here. We sound so silly now looking back.
And I remember with those numbers, I was so nervous. We're like, oh my God, we're gonna try to hit a goal of $300,000 a year or 200 that I think we started very
conservative, extremely conservative.
So we're like $200,000 a year in revenue and janitorial, and we've, like she said, surpassed that, and it's a good feeling, and it's also nice to reflect on our first meetings and where we are now
and our growth.
I love the fact that you've kept those notebooks. It could be something you guys put in a shadow box, a frame, and put inside your big conference room when you have clients coming in a great conversation piece.
We've thought about doing that with the evolution of our business cards. We're on our like 4th generation of our business cards. And I was telling Anna one day, I'm like, I keep all our old ones because one day I just want to compare them. And she said, me too. So we'll probably put that in a little shrine box at some point and display it here in our office just so people can see the evolution of, all of the things that we've done.
I find it so interesting. Normally we hear lifelong friends that maybe go into business together or families. Your story, it's very unique. You connected at that job. You'd worked together. You'd known each other for only 6 months. So what attracted you guys as far as working, bringing the idea up? Okay, we have this vision. We want to work together. But how quickly did your relationship connect and friendship and business?
So at the time I was looking for another job, and a mutual friend connected us, and we started working together. And I think it was 6 months by the time we registered the business. But at the time I approached her, I had only known her for 2 months, but it literally felt like a lifetime. It did. Like when we started working together, our relationship was just so organic, and we just worked so well together. I mean, it just flowed. It didn't take any effort, and I had never experienced a work relationship of that nature.
That was so effortless.
Yeah, effortless. And so I always knew that I wanted to be a business owner, and I just didn't know, in what field or what type of business I wanted to have. But when I met her and I saw her work ethic and everything that she put in to working for and with someone else, and I knew I had a strong work ethic, I said, hey, I think this is someone that I can partner with, and I think I've figured out what I want to do, what I want to be the owner of. And I approached her, and then she was like, oh yeah, I thought about it, but I don't know.
who was a little more confident, and who was a little more apprehensive, I'm not sure about this.
I would say I was nervous. I mean, I've been doing this since 2008 for someone else, and I was very comfortable. I was happy. The stresses, I leave them at home, at the office. I come home and I don't worry about them. This is different. We are constantly talking and thinking and breathing and sleeping and, our business. Like I'm always thinking about preferred capital cleaning. But yeah, I was nervous. I'm like, well, we need lots of money. And she was like, you do everything from top to bottom for this company, everything. The owners of the business don't even know what goes into day to day. Like, we can do this. And I'm like, we need money. She's like, we can figure that out. And we did. We started, like we said, the janitorial side was really great for us because it was, it wasn't conflicting with anything that we were currently doing. We were able to grow a nest egg, and that's how we kept going. And now we love the janitorial side of things. Like, we love the construction because that's what we know. But now getting to know the janitorial side, it's a whole new world that I wish we would have dived into it a lot sooner. And it's great. It's rewarding. We keep people busy. The money's consistent. So it's such a great industry to be in. And I think COVID really helped to put us in the front line. Nobody ever thought about the people that go in there and clean your office and keep you safe from germs and all those things. But it really put a spotlight in cleaning in 2020.
And that's when you both went full time with the company a week before everything changed in 2020, in March, of course. And this is when you put all your attention, everything towards Preferred Capital. Then a week later, everything came to a screeching halt. At that point, we're going full time here. We're going 100%. What do you remember about the emotions you were feeling at this time? And did you maybe feel like, hey, you know what? This may present an opportunity right out of the gates for us to become more involved, win more contracts, win more bids in the janitorial land of things?
It did and it didn't, because everything shut down. So the thing that we were doing before with knocking on doors wasn't available to us. So we focused on, that's when we were able to shift gears and also focus on the construction side of things, because now there's no conflict of interest. And we reached out to clients that we knew, and there was such a need because construction actually didn't slow down.
Yeah, it didn't shut down. It was, all of the workers were considered essential. And I remember early on, they even had to have like a card from their employer stating that they were going to a job in case they got pulled over from the police or anything, because, you know, it was a virus that people didn't know anything about. And we were all trying to figure out how to navigate it, and how do we still work together and not contaminate each other. It was definitely interesting times.
And actually, I know a lot of businesses shut down, but we're fortunate that the businesses and the contracts that we did have with the janitorial side did not. They're businesses that are still thriving, and we were fortunate enough that our contracts kept going during COVID as well. And they recommended us to other clients as well. Hey, these cleaners here are doing our, day-to-day disinfecting, and gave us opportunities like that as well.
Is it fair to say, too, that with the contracts you had, the relationships during COVID after were strengthened because of the challenges everybody was facing?
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm so interested, too, with your guys' background in both construction and janitorial. Have you guys found or pinpointed any similarities between the two where you have kind of gone back to the drawing board at?
I don't think we found anything where we need to visit the drawing board, but I definitely find a commonality. Everyone thinks that you're just one phone call away and that you can send someone in the next 2 hours. And that is for both industries, I think, consistent. Would you say that?
I think one of our things that sets us apart too is that we know the building while it's being built. So when we get in there, that we get the janitorial contract, we already know the building. We've seen it even before there was drywall hung. We also final clean the exterior of the building. And so this is like a one-off that the client before was looking to another company to do, but now we're a one-stop shop because, hey, they also cleaned the outside of my building. They also power washed. They also kept the grounds clean during construction. So they're able to look at us and not have to look for another cleaning company that can perform the stuff that we do know how to perform.
For the first year being in business, neither one of you guys were paying yourselves, taking a paycheck. It was all going in the business and 100% to your employees. This, to me, shows your value and how seriously you put your employees above everything. How do you continue to balance and prioritize, especially employee schedules, when maybe some things are a little difficult, or maybe a certain job's a little slower? How do you maintain that perfect balance for everybody in their situation within the business?
So we spend less personally and on the business side, because you have to have money for those rainy days. And when you have your own business, rainy days come more often than you'd like. And in terms of our job, we have moments when we're slow, and to offset that, we just keep people working by maybe overstaffing our jobs a little more, having them help out with additional things in the office, help us organize tools and equipment, uniforms,
Training.
We focus on training as well.
Yeah. So when we're a little slow, they come in for training, and they're also getting paid to do that. I mean, it's very important, and it's also good because when we're really busy, then we're not like trying to figure out where we can schedule some training lessons that we constantly do. It's just a big need of refresher, a reminder. So when it does slow down a little bit, it's helpful to get those training lessons. And
I love to hear that, because training, you can never have too much of. Things in the evolution of the business changing as far as equipment, whether it's
Yes.
PPE, which is still so important.
Yeah.
One of the things I admire about what you guys have done is you guys are predominantly made up of female employees, 80%, and 100% minority in your employees. What personal pride do you guys take in this, creating new opportunities and changing industry trends?
We're very happy to be women business owners. That's not very common, and that helps sets us apart. And we are able to provide opportunities to a field force that most people think are supposed to stay home and take care of the children, right? So they're able to kind of do it all. We provide them an opportunity, they can work, and they're able to provide for their families in addition to other income that they might have from their partner, and they're able to exercise their skills and learn and grow from there and, get promoted. We have people that started as cleaners, we've known for a while. They've been with us since the beginning in 2020. And they come to us and say, hey, I was able to put a down payment on my home because you gave me an opportunity. I was able to put a down payment on a new car because of, the opportunity that you provided to me. And so we take a lot of pride in that.
Now, with over 100 employees as well, now how have you guys been able to kind of focus now on the business side instead of working in it? Because I know you guys came from the ground up, like Drake said, started from the bottom, now we're here. And, you ladies were in the trenches. So now how having that trust, having the employees to fit your team, what you're looking for, allowed you guys to focus on running the business?
I mean, yes, we started. I remember waking up 4 a.m. to be at a job site at 5, at a location at 5 a.m. before the offices, open up, and being there. And I was pregnant at the time and cleaning. I was out there cleaning with our employees. We're not in those trenches yet or still, but I feel like we still are in the trenches. But luckily we have, like you said, put people in place to help us grow. And at first it's a little hard to give up that trust, but we realized that we weren't going to grow or get to where we're at now if we didn't trust others to do that. So yeah, it's been very helpful to have a good team, and we continue to hire with or promote within. We just hired.
That's excellent.
Yeah, we're really big on promoting within. The people that helped us get to where we should be the ones that, reap the benefits of all their hard work as well.
And knowing as an employee that there's going to be opportunity for growth. Some companies you hear about, well, I don't know how to motivate my employees. That's motivation right there. Okay, I can come in here day one as a cleaner, and I know that, literally I can reach the ceiling with the opportunities that are provided in front of me. And a lot of places don't offer that.
Yeah.
We like to encourage our employees, and we tell them, we promote independence, and we tell them, you gotta be independent. We've had a lot of people that relied on public transportation, and sometimes public transportation isn't even open and running by the time they need to get to a job. And we're like, the way you solve that problem, you have to learn how to drive, get your license. And we have a lot of people that have gotten their license and have been able to purchase a vehicle that they can use to get to and from work so that they're not missing opportunities. And so we always tell them, we want you to be the best you that you can be. We want better for you. And if that means, leaving us to go somewhere else for a better opportunity, we're not here to hold you back. We want you to grow as much as you can. And if we have an opportunity available for you where we can promote you, such as an operations manager or safety officer or a project manager, we're more than willing to do that. And we talk to our employees and we stay involved with them all the time.
That's so fantastic to hear. And I want to kind of go back, Anna. I know we were talking about how to kind of turn things off, and that's something I know very difficult for you. Matter of fact, I listening and preparing for this interview, you were taking calls while you were about to give birth to both of your children. How have you ladies know now maybe when to turn it off a little bit, so to speak?
I think it's like, I don't think it's ever a turn off, right? Because it's like watching TV on mute. You still have it playing in the background. So
I love
it's never
that comparison.
Really off.
Yeah, it's never off.
Never really off.
Yeah, I mean, the kids are getting older, so now they require a lot more of my attention because now they can tell if I'm still answering emails, answering calls. So as soon as I get home at 5, I don't look at my phone for work purposes until the next day. And weekends also, like I was constantly checking stuff, but it wasn't something that needed to be addressed at that time. So now I'm able to just put it on mute until I come back in, enjoy my time with my family a lot more. Again, I think the biggest part is having key players and people that are great team leaders for us. And we know that we're in good hands. So for a long time, Illissa and I could not take vacations together. So like she would go on her birthday trip and I'm one of her best friends, but I was never on those birthday trips because someone had to be here to manage the field and the scheduling and everything else that goes with it. But now we have people in place to do that. And now we're able to actually go on vacation together.
And as employees too, that's got to feel good knowing, okay, we don't have to worry about them checking in. We've got that trust, that perfect harmony, right? The perfect balance in the owners, the employees, and we can get things done. Even in 2024, we're still facing some challenges, especially women in the industry and in the workforce in general, in every industry. What are those challenges that you guys particularly see in the commercial cleaning industry, and how can the industry continue to work to erase these issues?
I think one of the major problems that we face is that people think that they can talk to us any kind of way because we're women, and they think that we're not fully aware of what we signed with our contracts. And they like to, use that and throw it in our face. And
it's not so much. I mean, there's still some people in the construction side that are very, I've been doing this. And,
back in my day.
Back in my day.
Well,
they never think we're the owners. Like it's so funny. Like certain people just don't think we're the owners because we're very present. We go to our sites, we go to our offices and the places that we maintain. So a lot of people, I guess there's still a little bit of ignorance, but for the most part, people are respectful and and there are a lot more ladies, women in the construction field. I know we've been to a few the ISSA.
Right.
There's like so many women that are in high, powerful positions that we met at these conventions. So I think we're turning that around where there was less women owners and now there's more. And there's also like a community of us. Like we've met so many wonderful business owners at these events, and it's so nice to see the empowerment and the encouragement and, oh, this is what I use and this is how I do certain things. It's nice to see that in the janitorial industry there is a community of
Absolutely.
women
Very
too.
tight-knit community that is very engaging and very welcoming. So those challenges that when you came in 2008, you've seen the progress. So looking ahead, what other opportunities will it take to create more opportunities? I know, you mentioned ISSA, and I know a lot of the spring conferences that I've seen the agendas for have had a lot of female-led workshops, which is fantastic. What other things or ideas do you guys have that could certainly help that aspect?
I mean, this is a relationship business, right?
Right.
And the best way to keep progressing and keep growing is by building those relationships, getting the repeat work, feeding off of each other, brainstorming, what's working for you, and maybe introducing that into our business and our day-to-day. And, just
I think being in front of people as well, just the connection, just these organizations are really good to stay in front of people that have the same issues and problems that we have, and just how do you deal with certain things. And like we said before, everybody's very supportive and engaging. And I think that's very helpful being part of these organizations and helping us grow.
Are you an ISSA member? ISSA is the leading trade association for the worldwide cleaning industry. ISSA helps its members establish valuable contacts through its global portfolio of trade shows and events. ISSA also boosts its members' professionalism and success through its industry-leading websites, issa.com, and by offering business tools, educational products, industry standards, publications, legislative and regulatory services, and so much more. These exclusive initiatives assist ISSA members in demonstrating the true value of clean. To become an ISSA member, visit their website at www.issa.com for more details today. And now, back to our guests. We're talking with Anna and Illissa from Preferred Capital Cleaning, the owners of Preferred Capital Cleaning, based out of Washington, D.C. Networking, one of the most important things, free tools that there really is in the industry. Can you guys discuss the role of networking in your efforts, not only to establish, build new relationships, but also, too, with building those relationships can help you secure some new contracts for your business?
So, for example, I saw someone this weekend at a winery, someone very high up for a general contractor that we work for. And he said, I saw that you had a safety meeting last week with all your employees. That's great. And I'm like, yes, I did. And it was refreshing and nice to hear someone so high up in this firm. He noticed that. And I was like, hey, I know you guys are looking for the cleaner for the new hospital that is being built, blah, blah, blah. Well, he says, shoot me a message on Monday and I'll make sure that you get an invite for that. I didn't even get to the office and I had already seen the invite for that hospital come out. And then this morning he texted me and, hey, it's so-and-so. I need help at another location. Can you help me out? And so those personal relationships really help. LinkedIn really helps because you think that no one's looking. And he wasn't even someone that hit like, on my post, but he saw it. And it was someone that is very influential in their firm. So that was very nice. So I'm a big social media advocate. Yeah. So I think once a week is probably really good. Showcase what you're working on, showcase all the things that are happening.
And also, too, I know some people may not be social butterflies or comfortable stepping outside that comfort zone, but this is an area where you have to work at it. You have to grow to build those kinds of relationships and to help your business as well. So how important is it? What are some things you can that you would recommend to some people that are maybe kind of struggling with that a little bit?
Well, Eliza wasn't always the social butterfly. And when we would go out to these networking events or organizations, like Eliza just kind of sat back and listened and took notes and took it all in. And I'm the chatterbox of the two. But now you wouldn't even know that by meeting us at a networking event because she's just as chatty as me. So I don't know. What did you do to overcome that, Eliza?
You just got to step out of your comfort zone and realize that not speaking to people is a missed opportunity. You have to speak. You have to get to know others in order to develop your relationships. It's an investment, basically. The more people you talk to, the more opportunities that present itself, and you're fostering better and longer relationships by doing that.
Business development is a part of any successful company. I know that's one area where you guys are looking in 2024. What advice can you give other owners, maybe somebody that's new in the industry, when they're looking to grow and focus on the business development side of things? Where would they begin? When you guys sat down for 2024, how did you guys get started?
I think one of the things that people should look at is people want to buy and work with people they like and trust. And so for us, it worked out that people like and trust us. And so we kind of were selling Anna and Eliza, like, hey, PCC is Anna and Eliza. We will make sure that we're always going to help you. You can always reach out to us. Open door policy, positive feedback, like anything you want to talk to us about, we're here. So we definitely sold that aspect of it. Like PCC is Anna, Eliza. So I think people knowing that we're the owners is something that goes a long way. Like, oh, wow, like I'm not just talking to, someone in their office. Those are the owners, but also, so I think that helped us grow to where we are now. Now in 2024, we went out and hired a business development person. And we need it because we can't, like she said, miss opportunities when you're not talking to certain people, right? And there's so many organizations and events and that we felt it was time for us to hand the baton to someone that can help us grow the janitorial side and the construction side of things. So make sure that person also sees your vision, understands your vision for your company's growth and where you want to head, the direction you're heading in. I think the person that we hired is a great fit. She's wonderful. People have said great things about meeting her, and she seems to really like the role. And I think, just someone that can understand your vision and your goal. And we understand that no one's going to ever love PCC the way Eliza and Anna do, but at least see the growth and the vision and want to grow with us. I think that's key.
And Eliza, I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts, 2024, right now. What industry challenges for companies have you guys seen in your area? I'm kind of curious to ask because we've had guests from Canada, we've had guests from all over California, Washington. I'm curious, kind of on the East Coast, what challenges companies are dealing with in 2024 in the industry where you guys are located?
We definitely have to focus on standing out from the competition. I mean, this is a saturated market with the cleaning.
Yeah.
And we're constantly sitting down and strategizing, okay, what can we do to help us stand out from everyone else, you know? And one of the things we focus on, as you know, is safety, but another major thing that we focus on is presentation, how you look. We tell our people all the time, you know, first impressions are everything. We want to show up on time. We want to show up presentable. It doesn't matter that you're a cleaner. You want to look presentable. Yeah, you want to show up with the tools to get your job done. You want to make sure that your shirt is tucked in, you know, your pants don't have any holes. You have the adequate footwear, you know, look presentable. People, again, back to her statement, people want to work with people that they like. And if they have interest and if they don't know you, the first thing that they're looking at is how you look and how you present.
First impression, very crucial.
So challenging here in this area, like she said, very saturated. So we're trying to stand out. Another thing that I guess is challenging in this area is we've seen jobs slow down tremendously. And that was never an issue here in the DC market. We were in a nice bubble that no matter what was happening in the world, we were never affected by it. And right now, that
COVID has changed that.
Yeah.
We're definitely suffering some effects from that. A lot of jobs aren't, like, they're delayed because they don't have all the supplies that they ordered maybe a year ago because manufacturing slowed down. And spaces that we were told would be ready for us, or contracts that we were told would be ready for us because the tenant was moving in for us to begin our janitorial contracts, are still not ready because they're still waiting for those materials to finish their project so that we can go in there and clean and maintain their space.
Water also has been an issue with a lot of our projects. It's weird, before the city of DC wasn't taking as long to give permits and get water to these new buildings. And it seems like 50%, if not more, of our buildings, the construction has been completed, but we're not able to go in there and perform the cleans that we need to because the city is delaying the water, them turning on the water. So, you know, you wouldn't think that's a big deal, but for cleaning, it's a big deal, right?
Absolutely.
We really need water.
How have these challenges made you guys pivot from plan A to go to plan B for the company?
So with the water situation, we're always thinking of ways, how can we go around it, right? The general contractors, for the most part, have been very helpful in assisting us with water. So if there's a hydrant somewhere on site, we have hoses, and we're putting them into the building, and their laborers are filling up big 55-gallon drums of water, and they're so as one is empty, they're constantly filling them up. So we're working together to still meet our goals and deadlines with clients with the water situation. And as far as staffing, I mean, again, it's very difficult to because it's such it's a great area, but it's also very saturated with competition. So we're constantly thinking of ways to stand apart from the others.
And doing the little things. The little things add up to be a lot, like you guys are putting
the uniform.
The effort. Exactly. In the background, it's those little things. Using your brand colors and logos, company names.
Correct.
If there's a space, it can fit on it.
Yes.
I want to thank you both for coming on this month's episode of the Business of Cleaning podcast, talking about your journey, some challenges that you guys are continuing to overcome and deal with, especially right now in the DC area, and sharing your networking tips. Where can people find you guys on social media as well as your guys' company website?
So our website is Preferred Capital Cleaning with an O, capital with an O. And if you Google us, you'll see all of our social media platforms. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram.
Right.
Yeah, we're not on TikTok.
Yeah, we're not on TikTok. We're not on X,
but that might be gone, so it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That is very, very true. Thank you, ladies, for coming on, and we can't wait to talk to you guys here in the future as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim, so much for having us.
Yeah. This will conclude this month's edition of the Business of Cleaning podcast. Be sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Also, be sure to leave us a 5-star review and your comments. From everyone at Janitorial Manager, our guests, Anna McNamara and Illissa Figueroa, I'm Tim Clagg saying so long until next time.